hello there. If you are a long-time viewer, you might be thinking to yourself, like, oh, what is going on? He has a green screen this time. Oh, that is so cool. And, well, first of all, thank you. And second of all, I have actually had this green screen for a long time. I just completely forgot about it. Okay, so yeah, the 25th anniversary of the Persona series is this year. So there's got to be some cool announcements coming up. And I decided I could do the same thing I did with the Xenoblade video that I made. So I could run through all of the cool options that we have for the future of the Persona IP. What kind of games could we get, and what kind of cool announcements are in the near future. So let's get started with it, okay? Right. Okay, so the first option is, of course, the mysterious Persona 6. That is something a lot of people are curious about. When is the next installment of the Persona series coming up? Not anytime soon. Yeah, sorry about that. Atlus does not do Persona that often. Like new Persona games, they don't do those very often. They just like to milk the games that they have dry until they make a completely new installment in that series. We saw that with Persona 4, where we got a lot of cool spin offs like dancing, the arena games, blah blah blah. A lot of spin offs. And then years later, we got Persona 5. But still, I think Persona 6 is coming like in the next 5 years or so. And the announcement for Persona 6 is coming like within the next 3 years, at earliest, like late next year. So late 2022 is when we will get a teaser for, like, hey, we're going to make a Persona 6. Get excited! But yeah, what about the themes and the cool details about Persona 6? What can you expect? I have no idea, but my solution for what Persona 6 could be about is I would like it to deal with themes of isolation, because that is something I feel like it is very relevant, not just like because of the pandemic and all of that fun stuff, but in general people are feeling more and more isolated from each other. So that could be a very cool theme they could tackle. I do want games to tackle more like the effects of the pandemic, not just isolation in general in games, but I do think like Persona 6 could be the perfect opportunity to cover, feeling isolated, being all by yourself, maybe being in a lockdown, that kind of thing. Would be really interesting to see them cover. And it could be like the other world, where Persona 4 had like the TV world, and the Persona 5 had like the mental world, the palaces and the mementos and that kind of shenanigans going on. So I think the other world in Persona 6 could be like somehow connected to the internet. While I know it's not the most original idea, it's not the most exciting idea, it's not the most unique idea, we have all seen like Sword Art Online or Wreck-It Ralph 2 do this exact same plot line. But I think it could work in like a Persona game. And like the bad guys, or the palace leaders or whatever have you, those guys could be like people who have kind of lost their sense of reality because they have been so isolated, and the only world that they have been observing is the kind of fake internet world. So that could lead to somewhere cool. And those people would actually also include those weird idiotic Persona fans who compare Persona 5 to real world events like, what the fuck is this shit? Please explain to me. Okay. Oh god. But yeah, that is my idea for Persona 6. So yeah, not coming anytime soon, but within the next 5 years I would expect the game to launch, and then we get like the announcements in the next 3 years or so. Okay, next up is spin-offs. Like I mentioned, Personas 3 and 4 had a lot of spin-offs before the next main title came out, and Persona 5 does not seem to be any different. We have already had quite a lot of cool spin-offs. We have had Persona Q2, we have had Persona 5 Dancing, we have had Persona 5 Strikers, which were released this year, and then we have also had the enhanced version of Persona 5 already with Persona 5 Royal. So what is next? Well, more spin-offs is very likely. Persona 4 had Persona 4 Arena, which was a fighting game, and I could definitely see them getting a Persona 5 Arena game coming out at some point. Not sure when, but I would definitely see them releasing a Persona 5 Arena, a fighting game for Persona 5, and it would also have like Persona 3 and 4 characters in it, so they can interact and, you know, have a chat, I guess. Another one that I was thinking about that is very likely, in my opinion, is to... Ooh, you're not gonna like this one, are you? It's gonna be a mobile game, yeah. Uh, before you go typing on your keyboards and commenting down below like, I do not want this, meh. Which actually please do that. That is good for the algorithm. Just think about it. The mobile industry is like 3 times bigger than the console software industry. So for a company whose like main goal is to make money, it would make sense that they would want to make money. And second of all, both Persona 3 and Persona 4 had multiple mobile games already, so it kind of makes sense. Most of those Persona 3, Persona 4 games were Japan only, so I do not blame you for not knowing about them. It would probably be a free-to-play game, a live service game, could even be like a gacha game where you could have like all the Persona 3, 4, 5, even 1, 2 characters in it, and you know, gacha style. Could be like a dungeon crawler where you can go to mementos and do random missions or something, or maybe just like a puzzle game, really. Something simple like that. But yeah, I would definitely see a Persona 5 mobile game coming up. So that is it all for the spin-offs, and next up on my list of what could come is ports. Now a lot of people, for a very specific reason, want a Persona 5 port for the Nintendo Switch, and I do not blame you for, you know, wanting this. I want it too. It's a great game, and I would also like Persona 3 and Persona 4 in the Switch. I could play them at all times and just give my life, give my soul to Atlus. But yeah, Switch ports is definitely something they could do. And you know, after like Persona 4 Golden was ported to Steam and it sold over 1 million copies, that was a surprise to no one except Atlus somehow. It would definitely make sense. You could maybe even do more Steam ports. Persona 5, Persona 3, Personas 1 and 2, Persona spin-offs. Have the dancing games, all of them on Steam. Have Persona Q on Steam. Have Persona... Well, maybe even the Japan-only mobile games would be cool to see somehow. But yeah, they could do a lot of cool Steam ports as well. The next one I have is to have a Persona 5 Royal Enhanced Edition for the PlayStation 5. It's not really exciting, for me at least, but this is something I could definitely see Sony doing. They have been like, with the State of Play presentation and stuff, they have been just talking about enhanced editions and what you're gonna get with the power of the PlayStation 5. So they could definitely re-release Persona 5 on the PlayStation 5. Will there be any new content? Hey, I doubt it, but it could happen. Then also, there are other platforms that could get Persona games too. Maybe Xbox Game Pass will have all of the Persona games there somehow. Definitely not the first time Persona games have released on Xbox, by the way. Persona 4 Arena games were also on the Xbox, so that is something cool. Not the first time Persona would be on the Xbox. So maybe it would be cool to see, yeah, it would be cool to see those games on Xbox Game Pass, especially if you can do them like on the computer, on the console, on even mobile. You could get mobile ports that way, kinda. And next up, having mobile only ports. This might ruffle some feathers, but you know, it will be easily accessible to everyone. I could definitely see something like Persona 3 Portable coming, or maybe even Persona 3 Portable coming, and Persona 4 maybe 4G. I'm not sure. If you have a 4G phone, you can have Persona 4G. Haha. Bad joke, I know. Yes. Let's continue. Talking about ports and mentioning Persona 3. There's a bit of a problem with Persona 3 because there's so many versions of the game. There are Persona 3, the original, then there is Persona 3 FAS, which adds like some quality of life stuff, and then like an epilogue at the end of the game, which has like a new ending chapter with a few new characters and the. Well, I'm not going into spoilers, but there isn't like an after story in Persona 3 FAS. And then there's also Persona 3 Portable, which removed that after story, but actually introduced a new campaign because of the female main character. So you could just start the game with a female character this time, and you could romance the males this time, and other story beats were slightly different, and that kind of cool stuff. Between Persona 3 FAS and Persona 3 Portable, I'm not really sure which one they would actually port. It would be very interesting to see, but my favorite is Persona 3 Portable. It had even more quality of life improvements, and the AI, well, the team members you could control yourself, which was introduced, I think, in Persona 4. And I think Persona 3 Portable released after Persona 4 anyways. So it would be really fun to have that game. Plus it has the whole second campaign, so it adds more replay value to it, in my opinion. Okay, so next up is the final chapter of this video, and that is what kind of crossovers could we see in the future of the Persona franchise. And first of all, you're gonna hate this one too, Fortnite. Ooh. But seriously, let's talk about Fortnite for a minute. There has been a lot of famous, iconic video game characters already appearing in Fortnite. You have had Kratos, you have had Master Chief, you have had Lara Croft, you have had Street Fighter characters like Ryu and Chun-Li, I think, were in Fortnite, and the Persona team likes to do a lot of crossovers, so I could definitely see the Phantom Thieves sneaking their way into the Fortnite, whatever the place is called. Okay, next up, something more exciting. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing also has done a few crossovers with other franchises, mostly so in New Leaf, the previous Animal Crossing game for the 3DS, where we had a lot of Nintendo representation, but also we had 7-Eleven crossover, Sanrio crossover, which has returned now in New Horizons, the current Animal Crossing game, and then also we had Monster Hunter. And Monster Hunter also crossed over with Animal Crossing at the time. That was really cool. So I would definitely welcome a Persona X Animal Crossing crossover. That would be really cool in my opinion. And you could have like Morgana or Teddy Bear villager in Animal Crossing. Then you could have cool Persona related items in Animal Crossing as well. By the way, fun fact, one of my rooms in Animal Crossing is like the Velvet Room inspired. So that's really cool. I'm a big Persona and Animal Crossing fan. Woo! Next is Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic is one of the, the big boys of Sega. So it kind of would make sense to have a Persona crossover with Sonic in whatever Sonic game is going to be next. We don't know yet. And this would not be the first time like those two franchises have crossed over, because Persona 5 actually had a costume in Sonic Forces. So could happen again and could be a good advertisement for the Persona series in the future. I would imagine it could be like maybe the Sonic mobile game could have like a Persona character or Persona costume in there. And especially because Persona has had a lot of crossovers with like other mobile games as well, like AFK Arena, I think, and Dragalia Lost both had like Persona crossovers with them. So maybe more mobile crossovers, just aside from the Sonic one that I just said. Also, that would support the fact of a Persona 5 mobile game coming. And finally, the last crossover I could think of is one of the kind of most obvious ones and kind of boring ones. It is the Shin Megami Tensei crossover, which I'm not sure if you could even count as a crossover, because Shin Megami Tensei is actually the main series and Persona is just a spin-off of Shin Megami Tensei. But now that we have Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD releasing on the Switch, the PS4, maybe PS5, and Steam, and then later on we are also getting SMT5. I think only for the Nintendo Switch, but not sure. So they could have like Persona costumes or at least references to mainline Persona or mainline Persona. So yeah, they could definitely have some sort of crossover going on between those two games, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that is all I can think of for the future of the Persona franchise. What do you guys think? Do you think my ideas are bad? Do you think Atlus will do them, or will they keep being a weird company that they have been for a very long time now? So let me guys know in the comments down below. I really appreciate it. I'm new with this YouTube stuff, so I appreciate every new like, every new subscription, every new comment on my video. So also you can share this video. Share it with your mother, share it with your other Persona friends, share it with your mailman. I don't care. Share it with everyone. Share it with the world. But yeah, that is all for this time. Subscribe to me if you want to. I post videos every week where I just speculate on game IPs, game franchises, game companies, and just the game industry in general. And sometimes we get cool game design stuff as well. That is all from me. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.